top of three-story buildings where they were doing roofing, just things that, you would have thought had disappeared at the turn of the last century. But what I'm finding is this is happening more and more, and all signs are, thousands of children, even more, are going to be in this situation. I mean, really what I uncovered is a migrant child labor scandal in America. We spoke to nearly 100 people who work with these kids directly, the caseworkers who are assigned to these kids. And across the board, they estimated that some 60% of those kids are probably working full time. So, I mean, the scope is enormous. This is happening in every state. And these are not really undocumented children. They haven't come across the border and never been discovered. They've gone through a federal child welfare system where they are processed through shelters. The government is supposed to release them only to people who will take care of them and make sure that they're not exploited. But unlike the federal foster care system, these kids are placed with adults and then no one checks up on them again. They're sort of on their own. These adults are not their legal guardians. They're people who are sponsoring them. And one thing that advocates say is it could make a huge amount of difference to just have a social worker who would go, see where the kid actually lives, see if they are enrolled in school, and have some adult in these kids' lives who could help them.
This is just terrifying. What you uncovered about, working 12, 14, 16 hours. We showed the picture that you had on Sunday of the three little boys that died. I mean, were injured and died. One of them fell from a roof in construction. There you see them. Take a look at these faces. And Hannah, so this is, exploitation, but who knows what some of these people are subjecting children to, by the thousands in our country.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody knows that children are much more likely to get injured than adults. That's why they're not allowed legally to be in roofing or processing or manufacturing. But what we found is that kids are getting terribly injured. Their legs are getting ripped off in chicken processing plants. They're shattering their backs, falling from roofs. And like you say, we found at least 12 cases recently in which these kids have been killed. And even when they're not physically injured, they're threatened. Yeah, I talked to one boy who had been forced to sleep in a basement. I mean, it's just appalling conditions.